Oops. Oh. Ugh. Already knocking stuff over. Hey guys. Whoa, my face is super dark. I'm gonna try to fix that. One sec. If any of our two current viewers or my regular viewers are thinking, Dylan, you said like a week ago you bought a ring light. What the fuck? And I actually went to finally hook that up right before the stream. And it turns out I needed an adapter that I don't have. Hey Billy. Because in order to plug it in, because it has a USB on it, so I need to get a wall adapter for it. Because I'm not close enough to the computer to hook it up that way. And I don't even know if I have enough ports left to do that anyway. Hey Mark. So hopefully on Thursday the ring light will be in action, but in the meantime I'll redirect this one near me so that I'm not just a silhouette. Ah! Maybe I am still a silhouette. Maybe that's worse. I don't know. I'm afraid to adjust the camera settings on it because that also affects zoom, and I was creepy as shit. Hey Spaghettoid, how are you? I don't know. It's gonna be. We're gonna go with that. You're not gonna see my face super well on tonight's stream, maybe. Oh, Spaghetti-O. You know better than I do, Billy. I know nothing about JoJo other than it's kind of known for its crazy, ridiculous. Oh, I gotta fix the camera here. Poses, which I am definitely going to play with. Are you new to the stream, Spaghettoid, or are you just new to the chat? Have you been around before? Alright, let's get into it. Okay. I have a pretty solid idea of what I want to do. Already fucking it up, but that's cool. I just realized I need to have this head a little bit further over in order to have room for what I want to do here. Well, honestly, if you want to just start giving a general spiel, I don't even really know what the plot is. I'm doing, was it Jonathan Joe, what? Joestar and Jolene Cujo. Are you a fan yourself, Mark? So I'm really leaning into the, I'll say it, bizarre poses. That is the plan with this. I got some posing reference off to my side here that I looked up, not from the show, but I'm applying some different poses. And the trick is going to be fitting both of these in there. I kind of thought there's so many characters, I should do at least 2. But I didn't want to overstuff. Sometimes I overstuff, I'm not that happy with the results. Especially on the stream, because I don't want to I don't want to like be reworking it too much. I mean, sometimes I end up doing that, but I try to avoid that because I feel like it's not too much fun to watch. And trying to find a composition that's got tons of characters on a shot on a page like this without drawing them super tiny, you know, it's kind of a. It's not always fun. It's not necessarily a recipe for success. I will show the reference afterwards. I don't wanna show my cards just yet. But if you remind me when I'm done, I'll show you what the reference looked like. But as you can see, I assume, you can probably already tell that I'm going kind of wonky with these poses. Or at least the first one anyway. Hey, Aaron. Well, now I wish I did, because that would have been a pretty good third act reveal, I think, for tonight's stream, but... hey, Mars. Is that also a JoJo reference because of the NJC? We're doing Jonathan Joestar and Jolene Cujo. Is the spine a reference to JoJo and his weird poses, Mars, or are you having back problems today? Okay. Fair enough. Okay. I got this one almost mapped in. I might end up changing it when I add the other character, or changing it a little bit. I can't remember which class it was, but it first became aware of JoJo when I think I was showing how to approach posing and stuff in a class, and I was like, give me a pose. And then I think somebody suggested JoJo. I actually just realized I sloped this a little different than my reference, but I don't know if I care because it doesn't look bad. So whatever. When you get your backs cracked though, it is like, that is the shit. I'm very much a fan of that. I feel like if you were to break your neck or your spine, like, that would suck. But there'd be at least a split second where you're kind of like, oh god, that felt good. And then like immediately, you wouldn't even get the thought completely out before the shittiness of the situation would sink in, or you'd be dead. But I feel like there'd be a second there where you'd be like, god, that felt good. I needed that. I should have actually photoshopped my two poses together to really map out how I was going to fit them on the page, but it's fine. I'm not actually too worried about it as I'm looking. It just occurred to me that that would have been another way to play this, or approach this rather. I might be drawing her a tiny bit too big. Maybe. like to think so. Hey Chantel, do you know anything about JoJo? Because that is the reason for this interesting leg placement. It's known for its weird posing. And so, we're doing some weird posing today. I do feel like I'm drawing her a little too big. I think I'm gonna need to back this up a tiny bit. So Spaghettoid, clearly, I know you. Do you want to name yourself Spaghettoid? Which 107 are you? I know. I know. Sounds like you're excited, Mars. Makes sense. Such a mess. Alright, let's try this again. More or less the same pose, but just a little bit smaller. I should have noticed right off the bat that I had drawn her head like twice as big as the other guys. Oh, hey, Dan. We're up on a toe. All right. Okay. look away for a minute and I missed so much. Ableton. Okay, that's the program you've been using, right, Dan? For your final for the music. Okay, let's make these the actual characters now. Oh, oops. Some bougie shit. I almost read that as boogie shit. Turn to the monkey. The monkey. I have no idea, Mars. That might be a question for Billy. Where are you on the JoJo fandom? Okay. I don't know what the hell these things are on our head. She's got them now. It's just a fashion thing, or these have a purpose? You guys tell me. In Omni, Chantal? What's that mean? particularly sketchy. Because of the weirdness of some of these outfits, trying to make sense of them. Like, what the fuck is all over her pant legs there? Color me confused, guys. I caught on to that with these two characters at least. Okay. That Chantel, I mean. I have not, Aaron, but I feel like that probably doesn't come as a surprise. Like weird metal panels all over her. She's got a lot of patterning on her clothing, but I might save that for after I get the base of it inked. It'd just be a little bit easier to figure out. Thanks, Dan. A single cartoon ever? You can assume that if you want to, Aaron. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Well, I don't think of you as a the type that would take up um, smoking Aaron, but I thought that's what you were joking about, so that you could meet Peter Stormare. Like, if you're gonna take up smoking, that would be the reason to do it, I think, right? And by smoking, of course, I specifically mean tobacco, cigarette. By the way, tonight's keyword for the music is fun. Would you guys agree? Is the music fun? We're almost ready to start inking this thing. Okay, what is the basic premise of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I have like I'm completely clueless. I could pick out characters like I couldn't name the characters, but I could pick them out of a lineup. Like I know, like I recognize it on sight, but um, that's about it. Earlier when I was asking for suggestions on which character to do, and JC was like, "Do what's in your heart, Dylan." Like, literally nothing is in my heart. I know nothing about what I am about to draw tonight. All right, well, whatever. Nothing felt good then. um. All right, I think we can start inking. I think we can do it. Let's do it. Wow, vampires. I really didn't see that one coming. The power of the sun in their fists. That actually sounds like something that you would, like a plot you'd come up with for an anime parody, almost. Wow, I'm very surprised by this vampire thing. I really didn't see that coming. Alright, JC. I'll accept this. Chin down a notch as I ink here. Blip there. We'll ignore that. No one has to know that ever happened. Oh shit, I'm on camera. Oh well. Okay. How many parts are there? Okay. And have you just not had a chance to catch up yet, or did you get kind of bored with it at that point, or? Oh, okay, gotcha. When you're playing catch up on some stuff, sometimes it's weird when you've got like a ton of content to blow through, but then once you actually get caught up and it's not done yet, it's just like, oh shit, now what? I recently watched Shameless, which there's 10 seasons of it on Netflix, and there's at least one other season that I think is already out, which is not on Netflix yet. And that was like my life was like revolving around Shameless there for a couple months, 2 or 3 months at least. And then all of a sudden I was done. It was like, now what? Okay. Taking a bit of liberty here. Ah! Hope the camera did fuck it up though. Wow, it's a little washed out. Hey, I only just noticed that in the drawing, on the screen. My white balance is a little off there, or the exposure, I guess, probably more so. Where was I? Yeah. One day, this whole Twitch setup is gonna be really pro. You guys will be blown away by it. Just wait. One day I'll be ready. You know. You guys will be like, shit, Dylan, I didn't see that one coming. Ink, 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 ink. I've been a YouTuber a lot longer than I've been a Twitcher, actually. I think we've talked about that before. I got in at the beginning and I did nothing with the opportunity. Oh wait, you're talking about VTuber, I'm saying YouTuber. Never mind. God. It's weird how no matter what I search for the music, there's always a few that will always play, no matter. And this is definitely one of them. It's very like westerny sounding tune. Yeah. Pretty sure you know your way around Seinfeld a bit, Aaron. And maybe others do as well, but that was an episode. It was the Jerry dated the girl who had man hands. The hands of a man, like a creature out of Greek mythology. Will do, Mars, will do. Yep. And the close talker. And the high talker. They had that one too. And Mulva. I actually have a Seinfeld drawing I've been wanting to do on the stream, but I just haven't done yet. Now that it's on Netflix, maybe there's cause for it. I concur, Aaron. One of my favorite comedies of all time. I do think though that like for some people like discovering it now, the first few seasons are good, but they're funny mainly just because of the dialogue. Like there's not really a lot, and it was kind of ahead of its time, right? The whole show about nothing, but like a lot of other shows kind of took that formula. So I think like you get into the later seasons, I think you can hook a new audience pretty well when they started getting more creative with their stories and you get into characters like that. But early in the show's run, it probably doesn't seem like anything special. Like, it would probably feel like, what's all the hype about? And I like those early episodes as well, but it didn't. It wasn't yet what it eventually became. What are you talking about, Billy? It makes. I don't need much of an excuse to talk about Seinfeld, Aaron. Oh, okay. What game are you playing? Also, speaking of cracking bones, Mars, I don't know if you just... Every once in a while my hand just leaves the frame. It's usually because I'm like kind of cracking the elbow, and it just had a pretty good one. You might have even heard the pop there. Probably not, but maybe. Lost track of my reference there for a sec. Again, whatever the hell these things are on our head, we may never know. Okay, I feel like we maybe talked about that one before. Bone crackers. There we go. I don't know if you heard that. I should have held that to the mic. My cousin Amy was kind of an epic bone cracker, and the first movie I did was like a detective story, and when the guy goes to the morgue to look at the body, the coroner like twists the like a dead body lying face down, and it kind of breaks its elbow to flip it up so the guy can look at it closer, and the sound of the cracking bones, breaking bones, was the sound of my cousin breaking her or cracking her knuckles and her neck, and it was kind of insane. I kept that in my sound bank, and I still use them sometimes. I remember when I like played that scene for my dad. I was like, "You hear that sound? That was Amy's bones," and he was like, "That was her neck? What the fuck?" I was like, "Yep." That's Amy's Outhouse Cartoons legacy. What part in I think I've only seen Little Nicky once. I'm not really picturing that necessarily. Just her scoop of hair there reminds me a little bit of Little Nicky, though, now that you put that idea in my head. Hair bun covers, okay. Hey, Nadia. Okay. I'm still not picturing it, but I do remember him being in it as like a demon or whatever. Yeah, but these look like they're metal. Or they do now, because I added a glare to them. Because it kind of looked metal in the picture. Star Trek intensifies. Same time, Nadia. I can drop you a reminder and a link when the time comes. But Thursday at 3:30 again. So what you're inking is for the project, I'm assuming? Okay. Okay. Cool. JC, I just realized, what was the Star Trek intensifies thing in response to? Oh, okay. Oh, when you did the hello there? For shame, JC. Although the ironic thing is, you have to know a little bit about what you're talking about in order to make such a joke. So did we just out JC as a Star Wars fan? Kevin Smith one time talking about Comic Con. So Comic Con is the one place where you can, where like somebody dressed as a stormtrooper will look at somebody dressed as a Klingon and be like, fucking nerd. Or something to that effect, anyway. I always thought that was funny. What's everybody else up to? Billy's playing a game, playing Evolve. Nadia's working on her project. I'm guessing Mars is probably working on hers as well. Yeah. I historically have preferred the term geek, but even I've referred to myself as a nerd on occasion. Sometimes I feel like it has like the punch, the added punch that you kind of want for the point you're making. It's like throwing fuck at the end of a sentence or something. Like it's like sometimes it just makes it slightly better. Or and shit, you just say a sentence and just add and shit at the end of it. I'm going to have tea with the queen and shit. See what I mean? Instantly better. Weird to say? Does it make you picture biting heads off of chickens? Technically, that's what a geek actually is. hell are these panels on her pants too, by the way? Is that just strictly a weird design choice, or is there like a purpose behind them? Okay. That was kind of my guess. Here's something weird, by the way. It's a good thing, but it's weird, and I'm kind of curious if there's a reason for it. For my own reference, but like 7 or 8 random people today, in the span of like about 8 hours, liked Combat Fairies on Facebook. And the reason I think it's weird is because I haven't really posted a lot on there in the last couple weeks. There is more stuff to come on there, but at the moment I haven't been promoting it really. And so I'm just sort of curious what is driving that traffic there, because maybe something I did at some point turned out to have some lasting impact. Not that that's a lot of people, but it's kind of like weird to have it randomly in such a short amount of time when I'm not actively promoting it, you know? But I'm not complaining. There is a Facebook page for Combat Fairies, yeah. I'm kind of wondering if it's just like all the promotion I did for the Kickstarter, like all that material, even though the Kickstarter's done, is still floating around there. So maybe it's just like people are more likely to stumble on it now because they might they're searching comics or fantasy or fairies or whatever the fuck, and like it shows up. I don't know. I have to say, and I'm not gonna get too cocky here, I'm not done yet. I was expecting this to be a pretty long stream, but I feel like I'm actually making pretty good headway on this, so maybe it's not like a super short one. We're already past an hour, but I think I was just thinking of those weird poses and wondered how much I was gonna struggle. Okay. I'm gonna wait and show you guys what my reference was for the posing after I'm done, like I said earlier. But I will let you know, like, my first initial thought was I'm gonna Google contortionist poses, because I thought I just wanted to like push it as extreme as possible, because I thought that'd be funny. But then they were like, I didn't really know how I was gonna do that with 2 different characters unless they were like intertwined, and then I don't know enough about the characters to do that. Because I was like, okay, I don't want to accidentally get like a brother and sister intertwined or something. It might be a little... Not to mention just being a pain in the ass to draw. Welcome back, Dan. Oh yeah? And also thank you. not a big hockey guy or sports guy in general, Dan, but what made it so insane? Well, okay, that's okay now. But, well, even that's still... I mean, it's not as bad, I guess, but still. So every time there's a new JoJo, is it always like a new generation, like somebody else from the original JoJo? And does that change every season? Or sorry if you explained that earlier when you were talking about the first 6. Her shoes feel very 80s to me. I don't know why they do, but they do. Okay. Okay. As soon as there's money on it, it becomes insane, I think. Did you mention Dio earlier, Billy, or did I like to stumble on Dio when I was kind of doing a bit of my own research? Because when I asked, like, I was originally just gonna pick like 2 random characters that I thought looked cool, and then I was like, fuck, there's a lot of characters I don't actually know, and then so that's why I was like, hey, let's put the question out there, which was intended for anybody, but I kind of figured you'd be the one to come to my rescue, Billy. So thank you for that. Okay. Yeah, I know I said it earlier, but I'm still very thrown to find out that vampires are a part of this story. It was so not what I was expecting to hear. Honestly, I kind of have expected to find out it was just about, like, people clubbing or something. Oops. Wow. It's a little invasive, I feel like. Ink, 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 ink. Squinty You know, now that I think of it, Billy, I can see the family resemblance a little bit here. They got the same chin. Granted, so do a lot of anime characters, but you know. See what I'm doing. Oops. Bumping it again. I would expect nothing less. I'm guessing it's pretty good though if you stuck with it through 6 seasons of it. See, the way it was first presented to me, like I said, was for posing reference, just because people wanted to point out how ridiculous the posing was, and because of that, like I don't know if the people suggesting it were actually fans in any way, but like the way they were describing it just sounded like it was something to make fun of, kind of. So my association with it, I don't think has necessarily been the most fair or accurate. I'm not opposed to giving it a chance, it's just that I have a lot of stuff on my watch list. And stuff that I can follow while I draw, I get to pretty quick, because I spend so much time drawing. But stuff that needs my full attention, it takes longer for me to get to it. One day. Is it, like, does it have a sense of humor? Like, does it take itself pretty seriously, or is it kind of tongue-in-cheek? Cool. Okay. Oh, right. I was thinking you would. Yeah, that's right too. You said you only did the first 3. I was thinking you said 6 and there were still more. Is it still going, or is 6 the end? Okay. This tune is mildly tropical. Has anybody seen the movie Club Dread? From the guys that did Super Troopers. Bill Paxton plays a character in it that's supposed to be kind of like a parody on Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett is famous for the song Margaritaville. And there's a bunch of songs in the movie that are like supposed to be his name's Coconut Pete, is his character. And there's a bunch of songs in it that are supposed to be Coconut Pete originals. But he's got one that's a parody on Margaritaville called Pina Colada Berg. And I listen to that on fairly rare occasions. It doesn't come up too often, but I have it on my, or had it anyway, if it was still on my iPod. Pretty funny. It's a parody on slasher movies, basically. All taking place at a resort. Never hit the same like cult status as Super Troopers, but I always really dug it just as a horror movie fan. I really liked its kind of skewed take on it. Going back to Fist of the North Star, if you're still there, Aaron, I think I remember you actually sending me a clip of the movie one time. That was just like the guy like pressure point punches somebody and his eyes like bulge out of his head or some shit like that. I can't remember. But I think that was you that sent me that. And I think that was the clip that made me go, I need to watch this movie, because I don't remember it being this, like, weirdly cool. or bizarre, you might say, to keep things thematically appropriate with our JoJo drawing. Oh, just popped my elbow in case you're wondering. If you're feeling jealous, it's understandable. I would be too. I don't remember where I was at. What was I talking about? Don't worry about it, Billy. I was either talking about Fist of the North Star, or I was still on Club Dread. I don't know. But it's cool. Okay, right. So I'm remembering the scene right. Just not positive I'm remembering that it was Aaron that sent it to me. In Kung Fury, when they do the anime segment, I think that's a direct reference to Fist of the North Star as well, isn't it? Beast of the North Star. Ink, 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 ink. Some additional inky highlights I'm going to add to his clothing, maybe hers as well, but not until I get a few more steps. Sounds good, Dan. What is it you're streaming, Dan? Are you you're doing music or? Okay. You're getting close though, Mars. You're on the home stretch. Pretty exciting. And your stuff's looking really good too, by the way. thank you, Billy. Are you gonna sacrifice them to the Aztec gods, Mars? Is that the plan? It's true, it'd just be a wasted effort. When I first started streaming, a friend suggested, because I did I was just doing the time lapse videos all the time, and a friend suggested that I not flip the paper too much because when it was sped up, she was getting dizzy. And I feel like that was a fair enough criticism, but I have not really followed that very much at all. Good job, Billy. Let's hear it, Mars. Let's learn about some human sacrifice. I await with bated breath. If we do already know it, it adds to the fun because then we get to feel smart. But it'll still be fun even if we don't know, because we'll get to feel smarter the next time someone brings up human sacrifice. Which comes up surprisingly often, actually. Trust me. Shading concentration here is a little wonky on this leg. So let's fix that. Do. Before Spain started colonizing stuff, there was a thing called Mesoamerica ball game. Or Mesoamerican ball game. I think I might know where you're headed with this. The one where you like you have to hit the ball through the hoop with your hip, and then the loser gets killed. Isn't that what it was? Maybe I've said too much. Maybe I'm stealing your thunder. Sorry about that, Mars. If I am right. Yeah. Okay. Well, correct me then if I almost got it, but I'm not quite there, obviously. Is that the one that gets to kill the losers, or just lucky in that they don't have to die? Oh shit. Oh fuck. So the winner actually got sacrificed. Because they were like deemed worthy, I guess. I feel like that would really take the fun out of the sport, you know? I have to assume a lot of captains were just like phoning it in. I'll tell you how I knew what I knew, and I probably knew the rest of it too and just forgot. But I used to watch Hysteria as a kid, cartoon from the creators of Animaniacs and Tiny Toon Adventures, and it was all basically history lessons. Quite a bit from that show, but it was also funny. That was the trick. They tricked you into learning stuff and liking it. Not too late, Mars. You could. What's brutal, Dan? You mean the what Mars was just describing, or something else? you don't do a whole thing about it, it could be something that is just like you could see the court in part of the environment or something in the background, or a reference to it in some way. I concur then. Oh, actually, speaking of Animaniacs and Tiny Toons, I think I've asked before, who knows Animaniacs? Because maybe this information is just completely disinteresting if none of our viewers right now know Animaniacs. Actually, no, I'm gonna say it anyway, because maybe some of you just aren't in the chat, but you are. And I'm sure Mark knows, and probably Billy too, if nothing else. So the Animaniacs are the Warner Brothers, as in like the studio Warner Brothers. So it's Yakko, Wacko, and Dot are the names, right? So there's the Warner Brothers and Dot, which is the sister. But they would often introduce them as, we're the Warner Brothers, and I'm Dot. And a joke was just explained, not to me personally, but on a podcast recently that I never got. And in the logo, the Warner Brothers logo, it says Warner Brothers. And then after the brothers, after the bros, there's a dot. So that is why the sister's name is Dot, because they're Warner Brothers and Dot. So they literally just translated the logo basically, and I thought that was pretty funny. The more you know, and knowing is half the battle. Just that sentence makes me laugh, Mars. We're particularly crazy about their sacrifices. I did not know that. No, Mark. But I appreciate how much the ... makes me feel like an idiot, so thank you for that. Fair, I haven't watched the show since I was like 7, so... By the way, Mark, I was just teasing there. It's cool if you. I'm impressed that you already knew that. I'm not actually bothered by that. By the ... That's what we hope for, Billy. It's not what we expect. Jesus. JoJo. It is suspected that the actual number of sacrifices was exaggerated, though. Was an exaggeration, though, to intimidate their opponents. Well, I would be intimidated. So I'm going to say the method worked. Maybe I should start exaggerating the number of people I've sacrificed as well. Because I'm usually pretty honest about it, but maybe if I want to command more respect, I should take a note from the Aztec playbook. Alright, I got spot blacks. I got a few other details I'm going to do with some other pens, but let's fill in the spot blacks first. Might need to swap out this Sharpie before we're done, but let's see if I can. You know what? I think this Sharpie might be dead to me. Yeah, the Sharpie's dead. Be gone with you, Sharpie. Could do that, or maybe a spoon, because like a spoon would hurt a lot more, and it's dull. So you know you mean business. You're more committed if you're using the spoon. Ink, 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 ink. I've been told that this is the most satisfying part to watch. And I think even from my perspective, it is also the most satisfying part to watch. Just filling in the big areas with black. Stop it, Mars! On, which one was it? I'm trying to think what I did. A recent stream. I had a lot of arcs that I had to ink. I can't remember what the hell what one it was, but you weren't here, Mars. But as I was inking it, I was thinking if Mars was here, she'd be doing the chew bit right now. Maybe it was the pigeon. You do all those curves for the wings. Well, that sucks. I one time had to evacuate my place because of a fire alarm while I had food poisoning. That was not fun. Getting up in the middle of the night, puking and doing other pretty intense things in the bathroom. And then like kind of just like head in the toilet, just kind of recovering, like, oh god, and then the thing went off and I had to go out and I was like, motherfucker. came back, crawled back into bed, and then the thing went off again. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This one, this music makes me think of like a slightly more techno version of the Beverly Hills Cop theme music. Do 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 do. That's rough. I had a fire alarm thing go on here, I guess during the Christmas break, I think it was. Or maybe it was right before Christmas break. Wasn't stuck outside for too intensely long, but it was starting to snow and stuff, so it definitely wasn't a fun time. But at least I wasn't sick, Billy, so sorry to hear about that. Fill in some of these bigger areas now. That's good. Yeah, totally. Which you'd feel self-conscious about anyway, even in a non-COVID world. In the cold weather, my nose almost always gets like at least a little bit runny. And then so when I come in, especially when I'm like going to the school for a class or whatever, when I first come in, I almost always need to blow my nose, and I'm always like worried people are thinking I showed up sick or something. Okay, we're not quite done yet, guys. We're dangerously close, but we're not quite done yet. I'm actually gonna do a quick... I'm not gonna get too picky with erasing here, but I'm gonna try to rub down some of these darker blue areas here on, mainly just on her outfit, because I'm gonna add some like extra texturing. Or, well, not texturing, but like the pattern on her. I've already mentioned that I ordered like a lighter shade of blue for my pencil, and it's taken forever to show up. Apparently, it's expected to arrive February 3rd, I think it said, which isn't that far away, but like, considering how long ago I ordered it, it's a bit much. As well, just to even things out, kind of go over some of these bigger areas on him too. But I'm not going to be too concerned. I just want to be able to see what I'm doing better when I'm destroying this eraser. That's good enough. Okay, let's use the 005 as the extra thin pen tip that I got. It's like a spider web on our top. Oops. Less spider webby on her pants though. Oh yeah, they're a lot more expensive too, aren't they? The Faber-Castell ones. There's a pen store downtown near the school. And I went in there one time to get like a fancy pen for somebody as a gift. And it was so weird because the guy that was like showing me around what the options were and stuff, like he was like a full-on pen nerd. Like he would just be like tell you like the fucking year that this pen model came out, and it was like I had no idea that this was a thing, that like pen nerds existed. Alright. Her pattern is done. Now I'm going to use the brush to add a little bit of glare. Yeah, well, I mean, even the microns are pretty pricey, really, considering how fast I burned through them. Well, thank you for the compliment there, Nadia. But you get pretty quick. You kind of learn. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's very true, Billy. I never experienced it before. I don't know if I'm going a little excessive with these glares, but I'm committed now. Yeah, I guess that works. Alright. Alright, I think we're done, guys. I'm going to throw a signature on here. Okay, I don't actually know if I've tried that. That's actually good to know. I need to get more brush pens. Maybe I'll grab one of those just to experiment with it. Where's my... Here we go. By the way, guys, stick around for a bit. We'll raid somebody. We'll find somebody else that's doing some drawing or something. If you can't stick around for... Thanks, JC. If you can't stick around for too long after, that's cool. But stick around just to give them the push, whoever. I'll see who's live right now. Be back on Thursday, as usual, for another original one. Thanks, Mark. I hear you, Nadia. I try not to go too hard on the coffee, but sometimes I burn myself out. I've been drinking a bit more, not coffee, but I do like the ice caps and stuff. I've been doing that a lot more. Good night, Mark. Oh, actually, that's true, Billy. Maybe we'll give Dan a raid. But okay, I'll pop over. We'll give him a raid. But other than that, have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, actually, I guess I didn't want to use that. Here we go. We are about to raid Dan.